Sagittarius, it is day 8 of tapping into miracles and magic, which is a tarot series that I'm centering around the magician. And today, the magician is reminding us that the truth that our soul is carrying is now our point of origin. Okay. The illusions, the perceptions, the mental interpretations that we've held on to about things that have happened in our past, about the experiences that we've had, those illusions, those mental interpretations, and our perceptions have been our point of origin for a very long time. It's the reason why we've experienced so much confusion. It's the reason why we've experienced so much doubt. It's the reason why we've experienced so much stagnation because our point of origin, the what we were creating our life around were those perceptions, those mental interpretations, and those illusions. But the magician is reminding us the very reason why we've been doing the work, Sagittarius, is not so that we could perfect ourselves. It's not so that we could become worthy. We have been doing the work so that we could come back to the essence of who we are, so that we could come back home to ourselves, so that we could come back home to our souls and allow the wisdom of our soul to be our point of origin. Okay. The magician wants us to hear and is reminding us that our faith is our fortune. Our faith is our fortune. The magician also wants us to hear that our faith, Sagittarius, this is the moment on the timeline where we experience more than we've ever experienced before, our faith being rewarded. And not because of anything that we've done, not because of any hard work that we've done, but simply because of who we are. We are the essence of God in motion. And our faith in that, our willingness to hold steadfast to that understanding, to that wisdom, to that truth is what is being rewarded. All right. The first card that we have coming through to clarify the magician's message today is the Hanged Man. And through the Hanged Man, the magician is reminding us, Sagittarius, that there's no turning back. There's no turning back. We made the decision. We consciously made the decision to surrender. We consciously made the decision to surrender those mental interpretations, to surrender those illusions, to surrender those perceptions that were holding us back, that were acting as barriers. We consciously made the decision to identify what those illusions were and to surrender them. Okay. And because we've made the choice to surrender those illusions, there's no turning back. There's only standing firm in our awareness. Okay. The magician wants us to hear that everything that is behind us is behind us. Again, all those belief systems, those narratives that we were holding on to that were serving as our point of origin, this is the moment on the timeline where we feel very deeply within ourselves, Sagittarius, that all of that is behind us. All of that is behind us. And all of that shit that's behind us can no longer serve us. It no longer has a place in our life, right? Why? Because our soul, the wisdom of our soul, the essence of who we are, is now our point of origin, all right? Also, through the hangman, the magician wants us to hear that we have taken the time to rid ourselves of all the limiting illusions that we were holding on to. And now there's this sort of emptiness that's present. And part of the reason why, Sagittarius, that we have struggled with moving forward in the way that we know we're being called to move forward in, part of the reason why we have struggled with alchemizing, with manifesting, is because that emptiness has scared us. That void has kind of scared us a little bit. It's kind of stopped us a little bit from moving forward because we're like, well, if there's this emptiness, if all I'm left with is this emptiness, then what am I left with? Right? But the emptiness is our starting point. The magician wants to hear that that emptiness, ridding ourselves of all the illusions, and now we're left with this emptiness. That is our starting point, right? That is our starting point. Think about it. Think about the creation of the world. Think about all the different stories that talk about the creation of the world, how the world was created from nothing. There was nothing, there was just emptiness and a void. And God created, the source of all creation, created our world from nothing. That is the power that you have, Sagittarius. That is the power that we have. And the magician really wants us to stand firm in that, okay? The second card that we have coming in to clarify the magician's message today is the four or the Eight of Wands. And through the Eight of Wands, the magician is speaking to the fact that things are speeding up, Sagittarius. You may feel like, you may even be feeling right now, Sagittarius, a little emotional, a little overwhelmed or overcome by emotion. And it can't be attributed to anything. It's not that something is going on and it's making you emotional. It's just this purging, this surrendering, okay? And it feels like it's speeding up. So you may be crying, you may be purging through tears. I know I have been, right? Because things are speeding up, right? Because the momentum is increasing. So whatever illusions are left, they're being brought up. They're being brought up with a quickness, and we're having to really look at them so that we can let them go. All right. The reality that your soul has been holding, the reality that your soul has been holding, that the reality that your soul has been revealing to you is moving in with a swiftness. All right. So are you doing what you need to do, Sagittarius, to stay grounded? Because the momentum is increasing, because things are speeding up, because this reality is moving in with this swiftness, it is so very important that you do what you need to do in order to stay grounded. All right. What are those activities that you engage in that keep you grounded, that keep you centered, that keep you feeling balanced within yourself? Don't let up. Don't let up. Stay connected to those practices. Make sure that you are doing what you need to do to nurture yourself, to take care of yourself, because you don't want to get left behind, Sagittarius. You don't want to get left behind. All right. The other thing that is coming through with the Eight of Wands is this, I keep hearing the case is closed. The case is closed. So if there have been some things that you've been needing to deal with, that you've some business that been needing to handle, you didn't really know what direction it was going to go in. The magician wants you to hear that the case is closed. It's coming to an end. Okay, whatever those things are that were kind of you're tying up loose ends, and the loose ends are being tied up quicker than you expected, all right? So keep that in mind. The case is closed. Whatever you've been dealing with, keep a positive, optimistic attitude about it so that it can close out in the way that you desire, so that it can come to an end in the way that you desire. Okay. The next card that we have coming through to clarify the magician's message is the world. And through the world, the magician wants you to hear that the journey you were on, where you felt disempowered in mind, body, and spirit, is coming to an end. That cycle where you felt so disempowered and discouraged, and where you felt overwhelmed and confused, that cycle is coming to an end, right? That cycle belonged to the version of yourself that was stuck in the illusions. And because you've surrendered the illusions, because you've let them go, that cycle is coming to an end. All right. The magician is also acknowledging that you are no longer afraid of the power and authority that you possess, Sagittarius. Because as you've been doing this work to heal, to let go of the illusions, you've been noticing and seeing and identifying and feeling and connecting with this internal power, with your inner authority. And initially, there was this fear around it, because how can I have that much power? That was the thought, the question that would play over in your head. How can I have that much power? But the magician is acknowledging that you're no longer afraid of that power, because you know it's not power that you will use for evil, but it's power that you will use for good, because it's power that's flowing from within your soul, because you see that that power is available to everybody. And you know and understand that the power that you are using that lives within you, Sagittarius, is rooted in the frequency of love. And you are using it on behalf of love. All right. The journey is coming to an end. You are no longer simply dreaming of peace and fulfillment. You are now dwelling within the reality where peace and fulfillment abound, where that is your home base. Peace and fulfillment, soul satisfaction is your home base. All right. There is one more card that came out today that we want to look at, and it's the Three of Coins. And the message with the Three of Coins is really simple. Your mind, body, and spirit are working in harmony to chart a new path for you, Sagittarius. Okay. And the magician wants you to trust and believe that what is unfolding will be greater than what you could have ever imagined. All right. So that is day 8 of tapping into miracles and magic. I want to invite you to join me for the weekly Reiki meditation that I host specifically for the Sagittarius community. It is every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time, and you can send me a message to find out how you can join that weekly meditation. I love you all so much, and I appreciate you for being here with me during this series. I'll see you next time.